Very special guest with us ringside tomorrow night, Lennox Lewis, former heavyweight champion of the world, and Andre Ward, the light heavyweight champion of the world. Let's have a word with the two chaps before we do. The two boxers, we'll do the two fighters, fight by fight as it were, after that. Okay, Andre, thank you very much for coming. Sorry about the weather. What about Chris Eubank Jr. then? What do you make of what you've seen?
First of all, thank you for the reception. Happy to be here. Excited to be calling this fight with my good friend Lennox on ITV. I think with Chris Eubank Jr. is, obviously he's still, growing as a fighter. I think he still has a lot of upside and he's still being polished. But one thing that I really like about him is he's got a strong foundation. And what I mean by that is he has a fighter's mentality. If you hit him, he's gonna hit you back. That's the most frustrating thing to see, is a guy who has all the tools, but maybe doesn't have this. And with Chris Eubank Jr., he has this. So the skill, the polishing, all these different things will keep coming over time, by taking fights like this, fighting for the IBO championship. All these things are necessary and part of this process.
He is box office, isn't he, when you watch him as well? And his father last week was talking about the speed of his punches, how many punches he throws in relation to how many his opponents throw back.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. I think, obviously he seems to have good power. And I think he's being moved, the right way. And when I hear Chris Eubank Sr. speak, I like what I hear from him. I like the fact that, he's just not looking at his son as a commodity. He cares about him, obviously. And even though the father may take some heat because he's making certain decisions, that's okay. That's part of the process. You're not going to please everybody, but as long as he can look his son in the eye, and as long as when Chris Eubank Jr.'s career is over, he can say, son, we did it the right way. That's what it's all about. And all it's going to take is for Junior to get his opportunity for that mega fight, and then that's going to be his time to rise to the occasion.
The interesting thing is, talking to him last week, obviously he's fighting in super middle. He said actually he could fight across 3 weights, including light heavy. How would you fancy that?
Hey, we got plenty of room up there. I welcome everybody. I'm not turning down any challenges.
Okay, Lennox, let's have a quick word with you then. Thank you very much for coming. Great to see you. What about another Eubank in the ring then?
I think like father, like son. It's always happy to see sons of great champions take it upon themselves to be boxers, and they want to be the best because they actually watch their father go through it, and they know what it takes. So it's been written already, so all he has to do is just follow the path.
Is it like watching a mirror image? Watching him, listening to him, the way he talks, everything?
Yeah, but Chris Eubank Jr. He has he has his father's style a little bit, but he definitely has his own style in there as well. So it's always happy to see, he's taken little bits from his father and he's brought them into the ring, but he's got his own style generating as well.
Has he got all the tools to go all the way? We were having a laugh with Andre. He says he could fight Chris Eubank Jr. at any of the 3 weights, but does he have all the tools, whatever division it would be, to go all the way?
Yeah, I mean, it's a working motion. These fights, every fight he's going to learn something and gain more experience, and this is what he needs to do at this stage right now, is get as much fights as possible, get as much experience as possible, learn as much as he can, and go forward. It's not easy. It's not an easy game. You gotta take your bumps and bruises and work hard, work diligently, go back to the basics. Watch your fight after this, or watch your sparring, and keep working to trying to be the best.
What about the heavyweight bout that we've got as well? We've got David Price against Christian Hammer. Of course, Joseph Parker, the WBO champion, is potentially a target for whoever wins that tomorrow or on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a good fight for David Price. He's used to fighting smaller guys, and it would be interesting to see how he does out there. But he needs to keep busy, and definitely he's up there with all the heavyweights in England to get a big fight soon.
Lovely. Andre, let me just ask you one more then before we let you go for now, about away from the Eubank fight, what else are you looking forward to on Saturday night in particular?
Obviously, it's a great undercard, and everybody that buys this fight, the viewing audience, and those that are in the crowds, they're gonna be in for a treat. But personally, and maybe selfishly, I'm just looking forward to being in the atmosphere. These great UK fans. I love the UK press. I feel like you guys do it right. You guys appreciate the fighters. You guys appreciate the sport. And, I really appreciate that as a gladiator and as a champion.
Brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, we're looking forward to having them with us on Saturday night. Two great champions, Lennox and Andre Ward. Barney just wants to get a few photographs. If you could just stay there for 1 second.
He's too big for me, man.
Ahora fala.
Just for the TV camera, guys. For the TV camera. Okay, go to the
There's so many good fighters. Are you feeling that to kick on, you can't afford to lose this one?
Yeah, 100%. It's a massive fight against one of the best kids in the same division as me. So it's a must-win fight for us both.
Okay, Adam, thank you very much indeed. John, thanks for your time. Do you feel the same way? You can't afford to lose this one?
No, not at all. I mean, I think a loss here, I think it's curtains on a career, and a win propels us on.
You feel you've been thrown in the deep end here, moving to this division and fighting Adam straight away? It's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, I think it's a good thing. I mean, you go out a level, a weight below, and I mean, we've both been involved in big fights, me and Adam, so to go back to 6 rounds is a lost cause. So to get in for an actual title fight is a great thing.
How do you feel 2017 could pan out for you? As I said, it's such a competitive division. How do you plot the route through the year?
Purely focus on setting out first, and then get the win, and then just go from there.
You got a plan, you've got the tactics, you study the DVDs, you know exactly what you're going to do?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan of Adam, and he's never in a dull fight, so I watched a lot of his stuff. So there's a plan A, but we'll take it when it comes. I mean, Adam's obviously worked on things, coming off a loss, as have I, so it'll make for an interesting fight.
And more spice, because it's a domestic fight for an international title, isn't it? Gives it a little bit more.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, it's great for an all-British international contest, but it's an all-British showdown. I think it's a great thing.
Brilliant, thank you very much indeed. Barney, the photographer, just get a few photos with you. Thank you very much. There's Joseph. Thanks, Joseph. Thanks for your time. Joseph, great to have you with us at Olympia. Twice world champion, 8 title fights. How was world title fights? How was your experience going to be key in all this on Saturday night?
First of all, I'm happy to be here. I'm very familiar with British boxing. I used to live here in England. I used to train at the Peacock Gym, so I'm very familiar with a lot of things here. I think I've met Kid one time at Floyd's Gym in Vegas, and I think we had a few runs. So he's a good kid. He's good, but I'm here to prove myself to the UK market. This fight is going to be at a featherweight. But I'm looking at moving back to bantamweight after this fight. So I'm going to take this opportunity to call out Jamie McDonald and Lee Haskin. So I'm going to take care of business with Kid Galahad, and then I'm going to move down to bantamweight.
And that's what you want to do next. So you feel that this is, even though you might move divisions, this is a stepping stone to having another tilt at the top?
Yeah. Kid is a great guy. I have to, look very good on Saturday night, and that will tell the story.
Okay, Kid, great to see you back in the ring. Do you feel, you've had 3 fights since you came back after your ban, but does it really start again now for you in many ways?
Yeah, you know, I'm back on the big stage, back on ITV, and fighting in the 12th round for a title.
Against a man with a lot of experience.
Yeah, you know, he's been in the best. He's never lost to, he lost to Rugondao and Abmanara, and they're world champs at the minute. So it's going to be a very tough night, it's going to be a hard night, and I think it's going to probably go 12 rounds. He's never been stopped. He's a fighter like Joshua Clottey. Them kind of kids, you can't really stop, and it's going to be a very hard night.
As you say, 12 rounds with Renold, I mean, that takes something against a man of that calibre.
Yeah, it does, you know. Renoldo's a puncher. And he went 12 rounds with him, and he's been with some big punches, you know, and he hasn't even budged, so it's going to be a very hard night.
Are you a better fighter than before your ban?
Yeah, you know, in my ban I was in the gym twice a day for 18 months, and obviously I wanted to make sure I got better, so when I come back now, I've improved, and you'll see a bigger, better version of Kid Gallagher.
And this is arguably the strongest division in boxing, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, it is. You know, we've got a lot of world champions, we've got good world champs, we've got Lee Selby, we've got Carl Frampton, we've got Leo Santa Cruz, and it's a very, very good division to be in.
So you're looking at a fight like this and thinking if this can go well, then with that many big names, and obviously quite a few of them domestic as well, could be some exciting times around the corner.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of big fights for the UK fans, you know. Scott Quigg or Carl Frampton in England would be very, very big fights for me.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed for talking to us. Just get photographs of Kid and Joseph. Kid Joseph, thank you. We'll see you on Saturday. Here's David. You come here, David. Nice to see you again. And here's Christian. Thanks, Christian. If you take the seat there. You'd like to translate? No problem at all. Quite understand. Well, I said it to Lennox Lewis earlier, but Joseph Parker, the WBO champion, is a potential for whoever wins this. So that's a massive incentive, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes sense, but all of the champions make sense after the fight of Christian win.
And how confident is he? I mean, these two have fought before, haven't they? A few years ago when they were amateurs, but they have fought before.
Yeah, I feel very confident because he won't give him the return for the Olympic Games or for the amateur time.
Boxers never forget a defeat, do they? Particularly not against somebody in particular.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, right, David. Tell us your. So it was a qualifier effectively for the Beijing Olympics, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was whoever won the fight between myself and Christian back in 2008 would go to the Beijing Olympics. Thankfully, I won that time. Obviously went to the Olympics, but a long time ago, many things have changed. And Saturday night's going to be an exciting fight for the fans. You know, we're both fighters who come to attack really, and we're both going to be on the offensive. We both know we can hurt each other, but I'm going to be going out there to do damage. You know, it's not time for playing around anymore in this game as far as I'm concerned. I'm at a point in my career where if I win this fight, it's going to open doors to many big fights. And the same Christian Hammer, which makes it a fascinating fight. It's a 50-50 fight. You're going to see a great heavyweight fight on Saturday night, and it's one I'm looking forward to getting stuck into.
Do you see the route through to Joseph Parker, the WBO title, if you were to win?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, that's something that could happen. And like Christian's man there just said, any of the champions, you know, but that's the thing that this fight can do. It's going to open doors at all levels. Obviously, if it's for the WBO European title, that's the easiest route to go. But obviously, the obstacle in front of me needs to be dealt with first on Saturday night, and that's what I intend to do.
Are you a slightly different fighter than you were, say, 18 months ago?
Oh yeah, I'd have to say I'm slightly different. You know, if it wasn't, I don't think I'd be here now. You know, I do believe I've come on in the last couple of years, and things have changed a little bit, and people see the best of me on Saturday night. But that's what I'm saying. This game's dog eat dog. You know, we can be friends after the fight, myself and Christian, but before it and going into it on Saturday night, I'm going in there to do damage because that man's standing in my way of potentially bigger payday, bigger opportunities, and me future really. So, you know, we've got to go in there all guns blazing.
And in what ways are you different? You're heavier, you're more proactive, you're more aggressive in the ring?
Them three, yeah. You know, there's not much more to say. Bigger, stronger, and better.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Christian and Dave will get some photographs.
Cameras at the back, you'll go down a bit more, you see at the back, so you go down a bit, thank you. Is that alright, guys at the back? Turn around, face to face. Okay, is that all good? Thank you guys.
Okay. Renold, how's your week been? How's this training? How's the sparring been this week?
That's been good, training's been good. Just focused now. Looking forward to Saturday. Day's going slow, just wanting to go fast, but yeah, it's good.
Not waking up at 4 in the morning though. No jet lag, that's all out of the system?
No, all out of the system. All morning, jumping about 4 o'clock, doesn't matter. But jet lag, that's gone. So.
When we spoke last Friday, I was asking about tactics, and you weren't too specific, and Chris was a bit surprised about that. Have you got a few more? I'm not asking you to tell him what they are, but have you got a bit more of a game plan in your head than maybe you had last Friday?
No, just the same, man. Just the same. You'll see on the fight. You see fight now.
How excited are you to be fighting in London? I mean, it's a great traditional home of boxing here.
I'm really excited. I just want to thank Boxing Sports on TV for giving me this opportunity. To travel this way and get the experience to come over and fight in front of you guys. These guys are big fans in the sports industry. But yeah, I'm blessed to have this opportunity. So yeah.
So, I mean, when you look at the computerized rankings that a lot of boxing people do, you're ranked at 11 as well. You're ahead of some big fighters in that list as well. I mean, you deserve huge respect, don't you?
Yeah, I do deserve good respect, but like I said, I'm blessed to come here. I'm blessed to be in the rankings at number 11 in the world, so yeah.
And you're ready. Okay, Chris, nice to see you again. How's your week been?
It's been comfortable. It's been a change. Usually I'm used to cutting weight at this time, starving myself, no water, no food, no carbs. So you know, to be able to wake up this morning and have eggs and turkey was, you know, it's a great feeling.
Happy day. Sounds like a good breakfast. Do you get a bit frustrated by this stage of the week? Are you just desperate to get on with it now?
Nothing frustrates me. You know, this is my life. This is what I do. This is what I've been doing for many years now. So you know, I've got it down to a science, and you know, I keep calm and I'm ready to do the job.
Andre Ward said there's plenty of room at light heavyweight if ever you fancy it.
Well, super middleweight, light heavyweight, middleweight. These are all the possible fights that can be made now. Now that we're on ITV, we have the platform. You know, and there's nobody getting in the way. There's no middlemen, confusing situations. So all these big fights can be made now in 2017.
Do you have to be careful not to look too far ahead? You've got a dangerous opponent, and I know you respect him and he deserves respect. Do you have to be careful mentally not to look too far ahead?
I'm not looking too far ahead. Obviously, everybody has their goals, their dreams, you know, and you know, I'm working towards them constantly. But I'm not overlooking this man. You know, he's travelled halfway across the world to come here and defend his title. I've got respect for that. You know, he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to be here. He could have taken an easier route. You know, he wants to test himself against the best, and it will be an extremely tough test. You know, this isn't going to be a walk in the park. It's going to be a hell of a fight. But you know, we're on a great platform, ITV box office. You know, I can't wait to get in there and show you guys what I've been working on.
Is this the start? Is this liftoff for you? This is a chance for your first world title.
This is it. This is the chance to earn my ticket, to earn my right to then go forth and challenge all the other world champions in the divisions that I want to fight in. You know, before I was saying names of fighters that I wanted to fight, and people said I hadn't earned the right. You know, I was skipping the line. Now I have an opportunity to earn a world title, and that puts me in place to be able to then go forth and get all these fights at super middleweight and middleweight. So this is it's a huge opportunity for me and a very important fight.
So if you're De Gale or Golovkin or even Andre Ward, as you say, whatever it is, were you to win on Saturday night, then you start going for them.
I'm coming for everybody. You know, De Gale, I want the rest of those teeth. I've told everybody I'm going to put them up on my mantelpiece. And Golovkin, I know I can beat him. That man is, you know, he's seen by some of you guys as one of the pound for pound best in the world. I don't believe it. You know, I don't see it. I know I have the being of that man. I watch him fight, and I can see holes. You know, yes, he's got great power, but it's going to take a hell of a lot more than that to beat me. And you know, I've got a very nice little plan for that man. So Golovkin, I'm coming for you. I'm going to roast that guy. And again, Saunders back in middleweight division. I'm never going to get past that fight. I'm never going to have him out of my mind until I right that wrong. He has a win over me. I need to even the score. And these are all fights that can be made 2017, hopefully here on ITV.
Lovely. Okay, let's get a final word to the champion and the man who's come across the world to defend his belt. You can see how confident he is, and he does it in a very extrovert way. I get the feeling you're confident in your own quiet way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really confident. Like I said, both two different people. I'm quiet, but I let my hands do the talking. And I'm focused, confident in myself to do my job again. Walk back home, take my belt back home. So. Can't wait.
Can't wait. Nor can we. Looking forward to it on Saturday night very much indeed. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Japs, if you just want to stand up and we get some photographs.
Yep. Can everyone get down? Right, guys, can you get down a bit? Is that all right? Got everything? The back? Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.